What's going on, good people of YouTube? It's me, Chavez. I'm back with another MLB player prop video for you. Today's Friday, July 28th, 2023. As always, I hope this video finds you all doing well and in good spirits. We're kicking things off by recapping plays from yesterday. Gonna dive into the Prizepicks board and underdog board. But before we do that, we'll spend a moment or two going over the newest promotion and today's free square over on Thrive Fantasy. So if all that sounds good, I encourage you to stick around, drop a like, sub up, and click the notification icon to get notified of all upcoming content from me and the channel. And without further delay, let's get into those plays from yesterday. All right, yesterday. All right. Every time I say that, I feel like I'm a DJ. All right. 2-1 on the day yesterday. Man, no homers for us in that first game of the LA Detroit Tigers doubleheader, but Ohtani comes through with 2 homers in the second game. Unfortunately, we weren't able to play any props from that second game. At least I didn't see any props available to us. So Ohtani goes for 0 fantasy points in that first game, does strike out 8 batters. So if you played his pitching prop in one, played his fantasy score, his hitter fantasy score in the other, you broke even on that one. Let's talk about 2 plays that did work out for us. Luis Garcia over his strikeout prop of 0.5 that hits, and then we took the over 0.5 total bases for Bo Naylor. We wanted him to get over that by way of home run. He didn't get it. He did get us 2 bases. So 2-1 on the day with our props. If you follow those picks, or if you tail those picks, and you put them into a couple of different plays, then you should have made a little bit of money yesterday. I put Garcia and Bo Naylor in 1 power pick, and then I put that Ohtani in a 6-pick flex that just did not have a good game. But $15 on a $5 entry, not bad. So pretty much broke even yesterday. It's pretty much how it goes. Sometimes you break even, you win a lot, you break even, you lose a little bit. As long as you're staying above, above that line, I think you're gonna be okay. We move on to a new day with new plays and new picks. Before we do that, let's spend a few moments going over the newest promotion and free square over on Thrive Fantasy. All right, Thrive Fantasy, partner of the channel. Partner up with Thrive Fantasy today using my promo code Chavez. You see it right there on the screen. 100% deposit match up to $250 just for using my promo code. You'll also gain access to a very friendly payout structure, meaning more money for you when your slips hit, and you'll gain access to free squares. Today's free square, Max Scherzer, 0.5 strikeouts. Take the over on this one, pair it with another play that you really like, and damn near guarantee a 3.2x your entry amount over on Thrive Fantasy. And in addition to that addition, the newest addition, Thrive Fantasy Rake Back Week. 20% of your net losses getting credited back to you in the form of prop lobby tickets. Make sure Thrive Fantasy has your username and email that you use to sign up over on Thrive Fantasy and take advantage of this. So you can do all this today. Sign up with my promo code Chavez, double up your deposit, get a free square, put that in an entry, and if your entry doesn't hit, then you get a 20% back. A 20% credit back to your account. So any questions about any of that, please drop a comment below, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer anything you got. All right, here we are over on the Prizepicks board. I got 5 plays pulled up for you today. Now, for the sake of this video, we're only talking about 3, and I do want to spend a moment or two towards the end of the video just showing you a couple plays that I have my eyes on over on the underdog platform. So as I always say, if you got what you want, I wish you the best of luck. If you want to stick around and listen to me break these down, then by all means, stick around and listen to me break these down. We're going to start off with a couple of pitcher strikeout props. Let's start off with a Cutter Crawford pitcher strikeout prop. Sitting at 5.5, I like the under, the less on this one. Let's head over to props.cash so we can talk about it. All right, so I'm a little confused by this line. I understand the Giants are striking out at the 4th highest rate versus righties this season, damn near 25%, but Crawford on the road has not been all that effective over his last 5 games. He's only touched 6 strikeouts once. He's gone over this line 1 time. That was in Chicago versus the Cubs. Over his last 10 games, he has done pretty much the same thing. 1 out of his last 10 games, and this is overall. If you want to look at the home and away splits, being that this game is being played in San Francisco, we can take a look at what he's done on the road. 2 games on the road where he's gone over 5.5 strikeouts. You get what I'm saying here. I think 5.5 is a little too high. I think there's too much being put into the Giants striking out at a higher rate. I'm willing to take the under on this one based off Crawford's actual history on the road than I am, the over because of the Giants who strike out quite a bit to right-handed pitchers. Now, if this were to get dropped down to 5, I'd have a lot of interest. I'd be very open to playing the over on this one because, as you can see here, he hits 5 more than he hits 6 most games, and you also have that push potential with that flat number of 5. So for play number 1, we're taking the under. Cutter Crawford 5.5 strikeouts over on Prizepicks. All right, second play of the day. We're sticking with the pitcher strikeout theme. Let's talk about Christian Javier under 5.5 strikeouts. Let's head over to props.cash so we can talk about it. All right, here we are over on the props.cash dashboard. I asked my members this morning, is this a trap? Because 5.5 seems high to me. And I think it's too high versus a Tampa Bay team that's only striking out at like a middle of the road rate, 15% lowest, 15% highest, however you want to look at it. Now, we took the under on his prop last game out versus the Oakland Athletics, who strike out a ton, and they hit him up a little bit, and he only struck out 5 batters. So pretty much on a game-to-game, what you can expect from Javier is 4 to 5 strikeouts. He's gonna go around 5 to 6 innings. He's gonna do a good job of just not like blowing up and not letting the game get completely out of hand. But he's not a shutdown pitcher where he goes in there and just strikes out 10, batters, 7, 8 batters. That's just not his thing. So to see this number at 5.5, a number that he hasn't hit but one time over his last 10 games, if you want to look at the away splits as well. 4 out of his last 10 away games, he's gone over this. I mean, you have to go back to April and early May to find games where he's gone over 5.5 strikeouts. And then for the rest of the year, he just hasn't been touching 6 strikeouts, which is what he needs today. So I'm a little confused at this line. I'll keep taking the under on these props as long as the lines are this favorable. Now, if this got bumped down to 5, I'd be open to taking the over on it then, because then you get that push potential. And if we adjust the line, we can see that, again, Javier touches 5 strikeouts more times than he touches 6. So 5 is a better number for the over. 5.5 is the preferred number I like, or 5.5 is a number that I'm definitely going to take the under on. So play number 2. We're taking the under. Christian Javier, pitcher strikeouts, 5.5. All right, for our third play on the board, man, we got some options here. You know what? I want to talk about Corbin Carroll's hitter fantasy score today versus Seattle versus Logan Gilbert. I like the over on this one. Let's head over to props.cash and we'll talk about it. All right, here we are over on props.cash. Real quick, is it me or does Corbin Carroll give off Cam Rising vibes? You don't know who Cam Rising is. College quarterback of the Utah Utes. That looks like Corbin Carroll, or if you looked at Cam Rising, you would say, man, that guy looks like Corbin Carroll. That's just, he gives me Cam Rising vibes, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the vibes that Corbin Carroll is giving us because he has been crushing the shit out of his hits, runs, and RBIs over his last 10 games. Let's take a look at this together. Lots of green here, averaging 3.1 over his last 10. He has 3 home runs. He has 4 stolen bases in that time frame. That's 20 points right there just off stolen bases. And he's given us basically 1 hit every single game over his last 10. Today's matchup versus Logan Gilbert, there is no history between these two. On the year, though, Corbin Carroll versus righties, nice little lefty-righty split. We see that he's batting .287 versus lefties with 18 homers, 18 doubles, 5 triples, 35 singles, and he has a total of 53 RBIs versus right-handed pitching. So Cam Rising, oh my God. Corbin Carroll is doing a really good job hitting the ball versus righties. Now, on the other side, Logan Gilbert versus lefties like Corbin Carroll, allowing a slightly higher batting average, barely any higher, but Still, giving up some power, 8 homers, 12 doubles, and 31 singles to left-handed batters. So there's a lot to like here for Corbin Carroll, and honestly, this Diamondbacks team versus Logan Gilbert. To me, 7.5 is a little low, just because that stolen base upside that Corbin Carroll brings is so important. It's so big when you are doing fantasy scores. Man, you turn a single into a double real fast, and just like that, you got 8 fantasy points, and you hit your line. And anything you do past that point, it's just extra. We don't even care because your line's already been hit. So for all those reasons, I'm really liking Corbin Carroll today. Fantasy score taking the over at 7.5, and that's going to be our third play of the day over on Prizepicks. All right, I mentioned a couple of plays that I wanted to just put on your radar over on Underdog. So Christian Yelich over hitter fantasy score, and then Rafael Devers under 8.5 fantasy points. Both of these props are in good places to hit. It's difficult for me to take unders on fantasy scores sometimes because you have the vision of this ball player hitting a home run and then it goes over so fast. But you'd be surprised how many times a player goes under their fantasy score. Case in point, Shohei Ohtani, the best player in the freaking world, goes under his fantasy score yesterday. So it can happen. It's okay to take unders from time to time, especially if the data lines up. So these are 2 plays that I'm looking at over on the Underdog platform. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you like on today's board, as well as your thoughts on these plays. Thank you so much for all your support and helping this channel get a bit bigger every single day. Best of luck to you all should you tail any of these plays. And until tomorrow's MLB player prop video, Chavez is out.